The jig is up. Jihadi John apparently wasn't looking for a job. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. And now we know the man at the center of those gruesome ISIS beheadings, a well-to-do college graduate with a degree in computer programming. Not exactly hurting for work, but he sure makes this woman sound like a piece of work.
We cannot kill our way out of this war. We need, in the longer term, medium and longer term, to go after the root causes that leads people to join these groups, whether it's lack of opportunity for jobs.
Charles Payne says work isn't the problem, hatred is. Incredible. Joining him, we got Ben Stein and Dagan McDowell, also Adam Lashinsky, Charlie Gasparino. Charles Payne, I mean, the old argument, if not for a job, these guys wouldn't be, killing people. Time and again, we get reminders that's really not the case.
Let's start with Osama bin Laden, worth $300–400 million bucks, something outrageous. It's an excuse, and it's the kind of excuse that goes beyond just being an excuse. It's an enabling thing. And I got to be quite frank with you. I honestly think when she was speaking there for the Obama administration, they were tacitly saying to Americans, to unhappy Americans, poor Americans, people who are dissatisfied or feel discriminated against, hey, if you want to go crazy this summer, if you want to riot, if you want to, somehow express the hopelessness of capitalism, go out there and do it too. To me, it was a green light for this to happen to in America. That's what I saw. That's how I heard it.
What was she saying, Adam?
I think it's a disservice to say that that's what she was saying, because that would suggest that she was trying to incite violence.
Absolutely.
She was saying that when people feel disaffected for whatever reason and not having opportunities is one of them. And we had just played a tiny
BS,
clip
though, Adam.
of
Come
what
on,
she
my
said.
man. Be honest with me. There are people who feel unhappy with their lives, but they don't go and cut other people's heads off. If you tell me that this is a legitimate reason for doing it, then you're saying with the wink and a nod, go out there, and if you want to riot about something this summer in America, do it.
She's saying that one explanation for the reason that people act out and do horrible things is because they lack opportunities and experience other problems. And if we can address those, we should. She was not saying people who are disaffected should go out and kill people.
Gaspo.
You know, the administration says a lot of stupid things, and every administration makes dumb statements. But
you seem to have a particular favorite in this one.
This one has got to be the top five. It's got to be number one ever. I mean, think about what they're saying, that there is an economic root cause for Osama bin Laden to hate Israel. There's an economic root cause for the jihadists to hate Western civilization.
No, not just hate, Charlie, because I can see someone saying, hey, I'm broke and I hate rich people, but they're saying there's an economic reason or justification to take that hatred to the next step and start to destroy people.
I understand that. That's not my point. My point is the justification is one of the dumbest justifications everywhere. We should point out that a lot of people go and join ISIS not because they live in these impoverished Middle Eastern countries. They live in the United States. They get all our welfare benefits. They get schooling. And they get Obamacare. They get everything they want here. Yet they are going to fight America.
You should be careful with the word a lot, Charlie. Charlie, you should be careful with the word a lot.
We don't think people get a lot of welfare in this country?
Are they the majority? Are they 10%? I doubt it.
No. What I'm saying is, no, a lot I used in the sense that ISIS is attracting militants from countries like ours where there's a huge transfer of wealth. These are not impoverished people. These are people that are living here on the welfare state.
Well, bottom line, Dagan, what do you make of the argument? And then that whether the more we learn about some of the top ISIS commanders and those figures that are available, that the money is not an issue for them.
No, it's not an issue. You have affluent idiots who are joining this ideology of hatred. A quarter of the foreign fighters, like a quarter of the 200,000 foreign fighters in ISIS came from Britain, North America, and Australia. They have nothing. And so they are turning on their values, they are turning on their families, and they are turning to this cult of murder and genocide.
Ben Stein, let me ask you about what I think the administration was trying to get at here, even though they said it clumsily, that not so much for the major guys, but the guys they're trying to recruit, you go where there's a great deal of malcontents or people who are frustrated and maybe economically hurting. And that's what they were saying. What do you make of that?
I think that if a man breaks into your house with a gun and a knife and he says, now I'm about to chop your head off and kill your children, you don't say, wait, let me see if I can get you some free junior college. You kill him. And I think that if you try to use that excuse that people are killing you because they're disadvantaged, we would never have fought back against Hitler.
Of course.
We would have given them foreign aid. We would never have fought back against Japan. We would have given them foreign aid. That is the most nonsense BS explanation.
Ben makes a great point.
If the young woman is doing it, believes it, she's out of her mind.
But Ben makes a great point. When was the last time you heard the Obama or the left ever say, well, we can understand how Hitler took over Nazi Germany. The poor German people were impoverished after the Treaty of Versailles, and you know, their country was falling apart, and they turned to Hitler, and yeah, okay, that's how we justify the Holocaust. Why don't we ever hear the left justify the Holocaust on economic grounds?
I think Obama would say that.
What's that?
I think Obama would say that.
But he's insane if he says that. But
well, there you are.
Go ahead, Adam.
I agree.
I think you're exactly wrong, Charlie. That's exactly because historians did go and analyze what happened after the Treaty of Versailles. Let me finish. And what happened in the Weimar Republic, and what did we do after World War II? We had the Marshall Plan. So we did analyze that horrible situation.
But do we sit around and justify, you know, while we're at war, the killing, the murders of people while we're at war on economic grounds during World War II? No.
And that's the only place I quibble with you is that no one's justifying.
They're evil. They have an evil way of thought. The Nazis were evil. The ISIS are evil. We are justifying what they're doing.
But Charles Payne, you're arguing we're just forgetting that sometimes rational people trying to debate what irrational people do get caught up in the silliness. Sometimes evil is what evil is. Nuts are what nuts are.
And that would be fine if it was just a couple of buddies at a bar having this discussion. But when you have the highest office in the world, the president, you know, of the United States, even to have this discussion during this, right now the only question should be, how do we annihilate them? How do, after it's over with, we want to quibble about the origins and all of that kind of stuff. You want to have the intellectual conversations, great.
Fine.
Right now, crush them.
But I think that in some ways, maybe what this woman was saying is a justification for not doing anything. They're searching. They know what they want to do, and that's fight this in this touchy feeling.
But was it needed? Did she remind you of like your geometry teacher saying, "I think you forgot the homework assignment"?
So they went and found some excuse why they don't take harder action.
Why don't we just find an excuse for Charles Manson killing all those people? I mean, it's the same thing. They're justifying murder based on
Obama
all this. He would. I know he would.
Look, we should bring all of our resources to bear against fighting them. But if we don't do something about their ability to recruit, I mean, these people are doing these crazy things.
They're recruiting insane people. They're not recruiting people who don't get into Yale Law School. They're recruiting insane people. We're not going to be able to make all the insane people in the world sane. They're recruiting insane people.
Unless we all convert, Adam, then they'll always have something to use as a recruiting tool, and I'm not converting.
Dagan, I mean,
in this instance,
go ahead, Adam.
I just want to say, in this instance, they recruited. Let's agree that he's insane, but he was educated and somewhat affluent.
So what? I went to Yale Law School. There are lots of insane people there.
How did you slip through? How did you slip through? I have no doubt. Right. We don't know. We don't know. But Dagan, bottom line is, I think we spent a great deal of effort in this country, maybe this administration, just trying not to offend people who have ill intent and to gloss over what is pretty obvious here. So I'm wondering, to what end? What do we not do?
And until this administration acknowledges the root of this evil, and that they need to fight it hard and fight not intellectually. They need to fight it with the same tactics.
Why don't we just say what it is? It was one of the dumbest statements ever to come out of an administration about anything.
We're sending airstrikes. We're sending drones. We're killing them. We're doing what we can.
But to say that while they're cutting people's heads off, saying
don't turn your back on dumb statements, because I'm still running with the whole thyroid thing for overweight. So just don't give up on
you don't think this is up there?
Well, it could be.
Yes, thank you.
In the meantime, Forbes on Fox with David Asman is almost ready to go. David, what do you got on deck?
Hi, Neil. Could billions of dollars in arms sales be going into the hands of terrorists? Why certain nations we think are our friends could actually be helping our enemies. Plus, remember the last time Washington passed something so they could see what was in it? Well, get ready to point, click, and be sick, because now Washington has its hands on the internet. We'll see you at the top of the hour.
All right, and as Wisconsin goes, so goes the rest of the country. Why these pro-union protests in Governor Scott Walker's state are betting on it.